Hello friends, dear students, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we are going to discuss about a topic of science that is known as separation of substances. You know why? It's very essential for our life that at critical junctures we have to separate certain things. Suppose घर में मम्मी uh, they keep certain things in kitchen. By the time what happens if certain things like rice and some other things they get mixed with each other. At that time, what you have to do, you have to use an intelligence. How can you separate them? Suppose sugar and rice they get mixed with each other. How can you separate that? It's a big question that is to be answered, right? In this topic, we're going to discuss about those things, how we can separate certain things which are liquid, which are solid, and which are miscible, which are immiscible. So many things are there. So let's explore this topic, and here we will be discussing about this one, right? Okay, let us go here. Now, once welcome to separation of substances, which is chapter 5 of standard 6. Here we will see sometimes what you do is that, okay, just a minute. Yeah, sometimes what you do, we feel we eat certain things. Early morning in our family, you see, taking tea is a habit for many people, right? तो घर में कभी कभी चाय बनता है ना, चाय बनने के बाद तो उसको छन्नी में हम अलग करते हैं, द रेसिडुअल पार्ट एंड द लिक्विड दैट इज बीइंग सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम ईच अदर, राइट? जो चाय के पत्ते होते हैं ना अलग करना पड़ता है, और जो पीने का चाय होता है वो अलग करना पड़ता है. देन दैट इज व्हाट is called separation. That is called separation. So in English it's called stainer. By using a stainer we pour tea like this in the picture, and there what happens, we separate tea and other things, right? Now, besides that, what you do is that butter. Sometimes by churning milk, milk is being churned so that we get butter from milk, right? This is what is being done. Okay, friends. So this is the way how we separate certain things, right? Okay. In the morning, sometimes we eat dalia, we eat poha, it is upma, what you could call it. There what happens? Mirchi hota hai. I mean, there is spices, there is chili that is present, and we don't eat, we just separate it, and after that we eat it, right or wrong? Yes. So we all know how to separate things, but we haven't studied, we haven't read it in a subject. Okay. So in mango you see there is the seed, in guava there are seeds. Sometimes we don't like it to eat, then we eat the juice and we separate the seed out of that, right? Like that, even sometimes we separate many things when we're eating, when we're doing our job, like this so many things happens. Okay, now here comes a concept. The concept is pure substance and a mixture. Why we separate those things? Because that is being mixed with other things, that's why we have to separate. But if something is pure, there is no need to separate. Suppose think of rice, suppose think of atta. If it comes at the pure stage, there is no need to separate that. But it comes with sometimes certain undesired things. Matlab those things which is not really required for us or maybe harmful for us. That's why what to do? We need to separate those things so that we can get the pure substances, right? Okay. So any substance which is made of only that kind of particle is called pure substance. जो substance बस उस वही substance से बना है, उसके अंदर और कुछ नहीं होता है, that is called pure substance, right? अब देखो mixture, गोल्ड के सपोज प्योर सब्सटेंस कुछ एग्जांपल दे दो, लाइक आयरन, घर में हमारा काम जब होता है ना उसको तो यूज आयरन, सिल्वर, वाटर, ऑक्सीजन. In water, sometimes you see we use water purifiers at our home. You know why? The water what is coming is not pure. That's why you need to use water purifiers so that it is going to give us the purity of water, and if you drink, we will become happy and we will maintain good health. On the other hand, mixture. When mixture comes, it is very perplexing. It's very common. You think of air. Can you see air? We can't see this, but we can feel it. Air blows. We feel happy. Air is a mixture of many gases. Air is a mixture of many gases, right? Dust particles, water vapors, so many things comes with air. Besides that, sugar solution. Suppose a guest comes to your home. What do? You pour lemon and sugar, those things, and then make a mixture, right? Brass is a metal which is mixture of copper and zinc. Okay, so this is all called mixture. So at one place it is pure substance, at other place we have got mixtures. You see, pure substance, this is water, this is iron, quartz, and gold. These are called pure substances. On the other hand, you see, it's a mixture. Cereals, sometimes, salad is made of cucumber, tomato, and cabbage. So many things are there. Here also mixtures. Here also you can see mixtures, right? Good. Now, what is namkins? We love to eat namkins containing groundnuts, some other things that we love to eat. It is also a mixture. It is also a mixture, right? But those things all are mixed. What is eatables? मतलब जो चीज हमें खाने के लायक हो वो मिला हुआ होता है, right? Here, sometimes you see in newspaper ad comes, don't take this oil, don't eat this brand food. There is adulteration. उसको बोलते हैं adulteration. Means the food which is not mixed according to law or which is not harmful, which is not useful for our body, beneficial for our body, those kind of food is called adulterated food. Means those food which is going to make harm to our body, right? So those things which are not required for our body, which are going to give us harmful effect, is called impurities. Those are known as impurities, right? So to remove impurities, what you do, pure substances needed medicines, research, industries, and also in our day-to-day activities. And basic important thing is petroleum. You see the petrol what we pour in our vehicles, maybe car or somewhere else, it doesn't come like that. Petroleum comes with mix of many things. From that we take pure petrol. Okay, so we have to separate petrol from petroleum. Okay, now there are so many methods. There are so many methods how we can separate things. Suppose groundnut is there, mommy wants to cook rice. All of a sudden they got, both of them got mixed. What do? Do you need a machine to separate it? No. By using our intelligence, what do? हम क्या करते हैं? हम उसको हाथ से ही अलग कर देते हैं. जो बड़ा बड़ा होता है ग्राउंडनट उसको थोड़ा अलग करते हैं. छोटा वाला राइस होता है उसको थोड़ा अलग कर देते हैं. That is called hand picking. That is called hand picking. Hand picking where you use जहाँ पर substance बड़ा होता है, where the substance is big enough to separate by hand. हाथ से जो अलग हो सकता है, that is called hand picking, right? This process of hand picking is separately used when the things are big. जैसे कि suppose sometimes when you buy rice from shop, there are some small stones are there. The pieces of iron also sometimes there when it is being processed through the mills, like this. So those unwanted substances are to be separated. For that we use a hand. इसको बोलते हैं hand picking, right? हाथ से अलग करना means hand picking. This is the picture how we separate the undesirable, the impurities from the pure substance by our hands. Then comes threshing. You see, this is the picture of threshing. What do you mean by threshing? You see, when the rice when rice ripens, we cut it and bring it. The rice is like this. It comes with a stalk. In the stalk, there are branches. In that branch, rice comes up. Okay. So there, what happens? We have to separate the rice small particles from the stalk, and that process is known as threshing. That process is known as threshing. Look, it doesn't come big like a big fruit like apple or onion or banana like that. It comes with small grains. That's why we need to separate it from the stalk. Then only you can take it to the mill. There it will be processed. You will get the real rice. So this process of separating grains from stalks is known as threshing. I guess समझ में? Threshing means nothing. जो stalk means this is big, stick-like structure. From their branches comes up. From that branch only we can find small rice, with covering with its cover, and if that is to be separated, to get here. It is being separated and we get the rice over here. Okay, good. Next, winnowing. Look what happens sometimes once the rice is taken out from the stack, now the process is the upper cover of the husk is to be separate from the rice, right? Maybe it's sometimes wheat or sometimes it's rice also. Now what to do? We use certain process. We use certain process by which we can separate them. But after that also the rice and the husk means ऊपर का जो उसका covering होता है, that is they got mixed. When they got mixed, हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? We have to separate the husk or the unwanted product from the rice. Then what you do? We use the flow of air. When air flows, we take it to a certain height and we just put it down. Then what happens? You see the husk or the unwanted part goes away to a certain distance, but the heavier parts of the rice that just fall here. Heavier parts उसके अंदर just उसके नीचे ही collect हो जाता है. So this is called separating of the rice or the heavier particle from the lighter particles. यहाँ पर क्या होता है? Two types of things that get mixed. एक है heavy particle और एक है less heavy, मतलब light particle. अगर एक light particle और एक heavy particle mix हो गया, then at that point we use this winnowing method. Winnowing method means just the husk is to be carried away by air and the solid part of rice that is collected near the man. Okay, very good. Now sieving, it's very important thing. What is sieving? Sieving means, you see, this is the process. When construction work goes on, you see, this is construction work which goes on. Or घर में at home, your mom, what does? Mom separates certain unwanted things from flour. आटे में से कुछ अलग निकालना, छोटा चीज that comes up. चोकुड़ बोलते हैं उसको. Here during construction, if you need a finishing work, मतलब बहुत ही सूक्ष्म काम करना होता है, finishing work, then you use sand. In sand, there are small particles, there are also big particles, and that cannot be separated by hand. Now what we do? We use छन्नी, उसको बोलते हैं sieving. Okay, छन्नी लेके और sieve we put like we चाय को जैसे अलग करते थे, like we separated tea from the tea leaf. Exactly here we put all the sand and then started allowing it to go down. During that process, small sand particles, they are being collected at the lower part and the big particles are being collected at the upper part. Those are being separated. So the process of separating the particles according to their size is called sieving. You see. This floor, from floor, the husk, stalk and other small particles are being separated by this process. Okay, this is called impurities. Sieving allows fine floor particles to pass through the holes of the sieve while bigger impurities remain on the sieve. This process is known as sieving. Sieving means here we use small particles to go through the sieve and the big particles which we don't want is collected upon the sieve and we separate it by using this process of sieving. Now come magnetic separation. Oh, you know about magnets? I think you love magnets. Small babies, when they get magnet, they use it everywhere. Yes or no? Whether it fixes here on the Godrej, on your instruments, everywhere you try it, right? So magnet is very, you're much familiar with magnet. Magnet is nothing. It's a substance which attracts gold, cobalt, this kind of activities, this kind of metals it attracts. Basically, iron. Not gold, it's iron. Let me correct, iron. Okay. So when there are certain things which is mixed by iron or nickel or cobalt, they're called magnetic components. Then how can you do? Suppose in sand we find magnetic small pieces of magnet, small pieces of iron and other activities in sand. Now what can be done to separate them? We can do one thing. We can take a big magnet like this, and if we put over the sand, the iron particles can come up, right? Or we can make the garbage to flow like a belt. एक belt में से flow होगा, and then it is the magnetic field. Here magnetic field is created. Then what happens? As in attraction, as attraction by magnet, they come here and they fall here, but the non-magnetic particles they fall here. So they are being separated by using this method. Are you clear? Good. Iron objects can be collected from garbage using this method. You see dumping yard होता है ना, dumping yard means everywhere it is being through. शायद आप लोगों ने देखा होगा रोबोट 2 मूवी में ऐसे हुआ था. In robot movie it was in a garbage in a dumping yard. In that dumping yard it was thrown, but by that from there again it came up. Okay, from dumping yard using this process we collect magnetic substances, right? Now there's another process in sedimentation, decantation, and filtration, right? It's very important. When a heavier component in a mixture settles after water is added to it, the process is called sedimentation. Suppose take chalk powder. You know, in schools, you might teacher might be using chalk. After they write in chalk, you see the powder comes up, right? Those powder, take it and put it in water, glass of water, and stir it. Mix it. Allow some time to leave some time to keep it in rest. क्या होगा? After some time, maybe after some hours, you see those particles which is unable to mix with water, they go down. Or you can take some spoons of sand also, sand, then put it in water and stir it. तो क्या होगा? They gradually, after some hours, they gradually settle down below glass के नीचे, they come up. This is called sedimentation. This is called sedimentation. Now got it? You see, this is. Now dirty water is there. If dirty water is allowed to keep safe, then what happens? You can collect these. Then what happens? That is collected at the bottom point of the glass, right? Those dirt particles is collected over there. Then what you can do? Carefully, if you pour the water, the clean water can be collected in another glass and the dirty water remains over there, right? This is called sedimentation and decantation. Okay, so when the water is removed, the process is called decantation. Now get it? When impurity is mixed with water, which is not miscible, matlab miscible means what? Suppose you put sugar, it mixed with water, you can't know. But when sand is put or chalk dust is put, it doesn't mix with water. So by the law of attraction of earth gravity, gradually it settled down at the at the bottom of glass. मतलब glass के नीचे बैठ जाता है, right? And this process is known as sedimentation. इसको बोलते हैं sedimentation. When we separate the pure water and get the dirty water, that particles, and in that glass, that is called decantation. Now clear? Sedimentation means settling down of dust particles below the glass at the below point of glass, and this is called sedimentation. Sedimentation the bed niche collect hona. And decantation means just allowing the clean water carefully to another particle or another glass is called decantation. Now clear? Very good. Okay. Now there is another process that is known as filtration. What is filtration? Very important thing. Tea. You see, a common experience is tea. आज के डेट में काढ़ा भी चल रहा है बहुत. People are using काढ़ा to avoid themselves from corona effect, right? So filtration is nothing. The method of separating tea leaves from prepared tea is known as filtration. It's called filtration, right? So we take a strainer, we pour. Look, this is what we can use a filter paper and also collect by the filter paper. If we pour the dirty water, here what happens? By the filtration process, the dirt particles are collected here and we also get the pure water over here. So filtering tea is a process of filtration. Okay. Now there's another process that is known as evaporation and condensation. What is evaporation? The best example is when mom cooks something at kitchen, you see some vapor kind of white kind of flame, white kind of thing comes up. That is nothing. It is vapor. It is vapor. You see, during heavy summer, the ponds get dried. Do you know why? The evaporation process is very high. Means water becomes vapor and go to the environment. This process is known as evaporation. The process of conversion of liquid into vapor state is called evaporation. Very simple. Take this, um, definition. The process of conversion of liquid into its vapor state is called evaporation. Right? Naturally, suppose we clean our cloth. What do you do? We put it. Then what happens? After some hours, it becomes dry. How it becomes dry? Yeah? How it is possible? The water droplets that's present in our cloth transport in the form of vapor to the environment. That's why our cloth becomes what? As usual, right? Okay. Now, what is condensation? The evaporated liquid can be recovered by collecting its vapor and cooling them. This is called condensation. Means, suppose we make vapor and those vapor can be collected in another bowl or another substances and let them cool. उसको हम cool कर देंगे. Then again that vapor will be converted to liquid, and this is known as condensation. This process is known as condensation. I guess must be very good. Okay. Now, centrifugation. What is centrifugation? What is centrifugation? Centrifugation means, look, if you go to a pathologist, pathologist. If you're affected by fever, they take blood from you, they take your urine, and then they check it. And they give a report that yes, you're affected by this or you're fine like that. What they do? When they take blood is mixture of two or three substances like plasma, RBC, WBC. There are certain things in blood, but we can see this in naked eye. And what they do? They take it and centrifuge means, then they move the particle at a high speed, Then the particles become separated from each other. This process is known as centrifugation. Okay. The particles which are very small can easily pass through filter paper can be separated by churning or centrifugation. Look, suppose we put blood over the filter paper, it cannot pass through, or all thing can pass through that. So we cannot separate small articles like plasma, WBC, RBC, those things. It's not possible for us. That's why you use the method is known as centrifugation. It's known as centrifugation. Okay. इसमें क्या होता है? In this method, the mixture containing suspended particles rotated high speed in the machine known as centrifuge machine. इस machine का नाम है centrifuge machine. The denser particles settle down the bottom of the container and the lighter particles come up. It comes up. Sometimes mom use mixer grinder. There, the denser particles go down and the lighter particles come up in the form of foam. Foam gets ऊपर आ जाता है, right? The process is used to make cream for milk. Milk से अगर हमें cream बनाना है या curd से butter बनाना है, then we use this process, right? Okay. So this is all about centrifugation. Centrifugation means nothing. When the particles is very small, it cannot be filtered. Then what you do? We use centrifugal machine, and in that machine they are allowed to move at a very high speed. As a result, the particles which are heavier go down, collected at the bottom, and the particles which are lighter comes up and collected at the top position, right? Sometimes what happens, as I told you, there are certain things which are miscible with water and certain immiscible water. Miscible means what? जो पानी के mix हो जाए. And immiscible means they cannot mix with each other. जैसे कि water and milk. What are they? Milk के साथ पानी डालो, पानी के साथ water डालो. Sorry, milk and water. If you collect in 2 glasses, if you mix with each other, we cannot know until unless we do experiment that water is mixed with milk. It is miscible. But if you take water and take oil, mix with it, what happens? 1 glass of water, 1 glass of milk. If you pour it and collect it in one container, you can easily see that water remains below and another layer is formed of oil. Yes or no? If 1 drop of oil you put, then also it spreads on water surface, right? So there what happens, it is quite difficult for us to separate that. So what you do, here we like to collect 2 immiscible liquids. Immiscible means which are not mixed with each other. Now what you do, suppose oil and water is mixed. Due to some problem, oil and water is mixed. Now we have to collect a funnel like this. It's for separating funnel. Once you put it, the below there is a knob. A knob is there, right? Once you open the knob, look, below water is there, oil is collected at the top. Gradually, slowly, if you open the knob, water is being collected in the beaker. And finally, when the water level goes down, 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 you have to stop it. Then all water will be separated from oil. Is it not very easy idea? Yes. Tell it at your home to your grandma and mom also. Okay. By this process, we can separate what? Two immiscible things, immiscible liquids by a separating funnel. By a separating funnel. Okay. Good. Now, separation of components of mixture by using combination of various methods. It's very, easy to handle. Okay, these are certain methods what we've discussed by which we can separate the things from each other. But if more than two or three substances are mixed, it's going to give a problem for us. Do you know what happens? What you have to do? Suppose water and oil is mixed, it's fine. But if salt water and oil is mixed, then we have to follow two steps. How? We take the beaker, the separating funnel, take the salt water separated. Then what happens? Then we have to heat salt water. So water becomes vapor and salt remains. And after that, again, condensation process where the vapor of water is being cooled down and water can be obtained. So if more than two things get mixed up, we have to take more steps. Like rice is mixed with sand or rice is mixed with sugar and some magnetic small particles. Then what happens? We have to use magnetic process to get the iron fillings from this substance. Then we take help of water. So rice can be separated, and then that water and sugar solution can be taken. If you heat it, make the water vapor, and again we have to collect the water. So if we have more things mixed with each other, we have to take more steps. Is it clear? Okay, thank you very much. And finally, what you have to do, we have to find a solution. What do you mean by solution? A mixture and solution is quite different, right? A homogeneous mixture of two or more substances is called solution. Homogeneous mixture. What is that? The substance which is present in smaller amount is called solute, and the substance present in larger amount is called solvent. Suppose we mix what? Sugar with water. We don't say that we mix water with sugar. Do you know why? If you take one glass, means 200 milliliter of 200 milliliter of water or 200 gram of water, then we put 2 spoons of sugar to that. The larger amount is called solvent. Water is a solvent, and the little amount or the small amount which is mixed with the larger amount is called solute. So in sugar, it is solute. Sugar is a solute, and water is a solvent. Right? Okay. अब क्या होता है? When I mix sugar and stir it, it mix with water. But a time comes when if you put sugar also, if you stir it, the sugar will not mix with water. A time comes when sugar will not mix with water. Do you know why? In water, there are small gaps between the atoms. And within that small gap, the sugar particles get adjusted. As a result, we can't see them. We cannot see them, right? But sometimes what happens? Now what happens? A time comes when the sugar will not mix with water, right? And that is called saturated. That is called saturated solution. A solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at a fixed temperature is called saturated solution. But जब तक वो mix होता रहेगा, a solution which some more solute can be dissolved at fixed temperature is called unsaturated solution. मतलब जब तक हम डालते रहते हैं, एक चम्मच डाला मिक्स हो गया, सेकंड चम्मच डाला मिक्स हो गया, थर्ड चम्मच डाला मिक्स हो गया, that is called unsaturated. मतलब जब तक मिक्स होता जाएगा, it's called unsaturated. But time comes when it cannot be mixed. You put, it will remain as usual. There is no gap in the water molecules so that the sugar parts can adjust. Then that condition is called saturated. मतलब पूरा हो गया. Now it cannot be mixed. Okay. So this is a quick review with what things you have studied in this topic. You must read it because these are very important points for your point of learning and also the point of examination. So what you need to do, you have to read it properly. You can take a screenshot of this so that you can read the points properly. It is very, very important for all of you. Okay. So there are some words. Which words you must use: mixture, threshing, winnowing, sieve, evaporation, condensation, churning. solution, solute, solvent, saturated solution, unsaturated solution. So many new words for you people, which you must understand the definition and you must apply it in your day-to-day life. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you a lot for attending this class. You can contact me for more details. It is given in the description box. And don't forget to like and subscribe this channel so that when I am going to upload new topics, you can get the instance immediately. Thank you.